you do something different with your hair? It looks good.
I did, yeah. Growing it out a little bit, man.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
Good.
And you better like it. The camera's rolling.
Yeah, I wonder if I've ever like.
It's Black History Month.
I know. I'm trying
Kendrick
to think.
Lamar just performed.
I mean, you don't
I dare
really-
you to say something about my black hair.
I mean, you don't really like tell people that you don't like their haircut in general. So I've probably never even really done that unless it's like my brothers or whatever, just fucking with them.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
That's funny.
I'm trying to think like what. I'm quite certain I've never told a black person I didn't like their hair.
That's a safe move. That's
I mean,
a
like your
safe
hair.
bet.
Yeah.
I usually like your hair. It looks dumb now.
Yeah.
that would be
The
real
worst
bad.
I probably ever said was, "What'd you do to your hair?"
Yeah, that's
Like, the
all
tone-
the look on your face.
that
If
was
that
it.
was the look on your face, oof. that was full.
Yeah.
That was hate.
I mean, it's fine.
I've definitely seen that look in an employee training video before on what not to do.
Oh my god, amazing! You guys want to hear about? I made a big silly mistake last night. Everything's fine now, but
Okay.
yeah. So I
Big silly mistake.
big
That's
silly
how you're
mistake.
gonna. That's
yeah,
how
we're
you're
calling it.
identifying
BDSM.
it.
Big damn silly mistake.
Okay.
BDSM.
All right. We have taken this podcast
All
to
right.
the next level.
Listen, that's what I'm here for. So, okay. So last night, order of operations. First, I ordered a pizza. All right. I ordered a
Off to a
pizza
good start.
and in advance. I was going to pick it up at 7:30 because I didn't really care about missing the first half. But then I was going to go. I was going to go for a run. So I went to the gym. I took my bag in there and everything, like put it in the locker. And then I went back outside. I was going to go for just like a warm-up run, just like a couple miles, and then come back in and do gym stuff, whatever.
Nice flex.
Yeah,
Come on.
well, this whole thing is about that. So, but it all
That was a warm-up, just a couple miles.
This
Just a couple
this
miles.
story is actually nice because I get to brag and balance it out. You know what I mean?
Backdoor brag.
So yeah,
You know what? Just as a quick side note, it is interesting how we both received that statement because to you, yes, that does sound cocky.
I know
But
you were
for
like,
me,
oh, a couple miles,
yeah, it's like,
loser.
whatever.
You're like,
yeah.
that's what you do?
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
2
two or
miles.
3 miles. Oh. Well, that's what I did. My brother. I don't know if you saw it. My brother posted a story of a run the two of us did together.
Uh-huh.
And it was like it said like brother run, and it said like 2.8 miles. And I like reposted it, but a little part of me was like, I ran 4 more miles after that. There you go. But anyway, so
We're really gonna allow this? I don't know. So
yeah, so,
far, I'm
I
like,
mean, look-
Oh, I'm ready to jump on. I'm waiting
yeah,
for
no, there's
whatever
going to
it
be
is.
a lot of that.
All
You're
right.
going to be jumping. This might be the whole podcast, honestly. So I go in there, put my bag in there and everything, and I go outside and I start running. And I like y'all know I've had like knee problems and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling any knee problems, anything. I'm feeling like really good and like everything's feeling easy. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm doing this instead. Fuck the work. If I have anything left in the tank, I'll work out afterwards. But let's just do this. And so this is like 5:45 or something, or 5:50. Something
Okay,
like
I
that.
already know where this is
And
going.
then so I keep so you know hours. All right. So I keep going, and I ended up running like a shit. I'm just gonna say it. Fuck it. 9 miles. It felt great.
Solid number.
Jason's so mad.
So-
Yeah, Jordan's like, yeah, that's less than half of the marathon I ran. That's a third of a marathon, sort of. But yeah, you never talk about it, and I talk about my way less stuff all the time. Like that's a pretty big, that's a pretty clear like.
well, I'll
difference
bring up
between
later
us.
how many curls I did. So
Yeah,
there's
okay.
just a different sort of thing where you get runners like that ran real far,
Yeah.
and everybody else is like,
Yeah,
just
no one
some-
gives a shit.
No
No, one
one
gives a shit
cares
at all. And
about
also,
anything else,
this
dude.
thing that I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
I absolutely hated people for
Yeah.
before I did it, and then I'm like, oh, now I will be that way too.
Yeah.
But so all that is to say, I went way farther than I thought, and when I started the run, I knew I was like, okay, Williams, the gym closes at 7. Like, remember the gym closes at 7. That's fine. We're not going to do that long of a run anyway, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot about that and all the excitement of like, oh, my knee's not hurting. This feels good, blah, 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 blah. And then I finish up at like 7:05. And I start I'm like, give myself a lot of space to like cool down, have a little
Yeah.
cool down walk, like, you know. And so I go up there and it hits me right as I'm about to get to the door. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Right, buddy.
And in my bag were my keys, my wallet. I have my phone, thankfully,
man.
but
Jeez.
my keys and my wallet. So I'm just like, my car's right there.
Yeah.
I'm in, and like it was like mid to upper 60s when I started running. So I was just wearing like shorts and like a t-shirt, like regular whatever. But by that time, it was getting down into like the 50s, and it was
Yeah.
raining.
Yeah.
It started
my
raining.
God.
So thankfully, there's like a little structure overhead. But I like knocked on the windows. I don't know if probably everyone was gone. They like leave all the lights and TVs and shit on. So I thought maybe there was someone in there, and maybe there was, and they just ignored it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I hope.
Which I wouldn't blame them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Kinda hope
I
that's
honestly.
the case.
And so I like knocked. No one came. I called, and it kept ringing. Then went through to like, sorry, hang up thing. Like there was no voicemail or anything like that. So I finally gave up. And so I just sat down defeatedly on the steps in front of shout out to Mint Hill Planet Fitness. And I actually do really like that place. But
Wait, so they close at 7?
on Sundays.
Sundays.
Oh,
So
Sunday.
it's like a 24/5
okay.
thing.
Sorry,
So on Saturday,
fitness, I was-
it's like 10
get
to whatever. On Monday
Still
through
feels early if I'm
Monday
honest.
through Friday,
No, that's pretty standard for gyms.
Yeah.
In general. Like the Y in the Dowd Y, like kind of close to Uptown, closes at 6.
Yeah.
The one here in NOLA closes at 4. It's like 12 to
Damn.
4. Yeah, a lot of gyms just close really early on Sundays.
But weekdays is 24 hours. Like
Yeah,
Monday
that's kind
through
of what I
Friday.
thought. I used to be with Planet Fitness.
No, it is.
I
It
just
is. It's
never went on
Monday,
a Sunday,
Monday through
apparently.
Friday is 24 hours.
Okay.
And then anyway.
Yeah.
So I order an Uber and I'm sitting there and it was gonna be like 20 minutes. So I was just sitting there, just in my sad little state,
Just being cold. Yeah, right.
Rain is like sort of slanted, so it's coming in.
Yes, and you-
and the rain like cleared up a little bit, and I remembered. I was like, oh shit, I ordered a pizza. And the pizza place it's Papa John's. Just whatever. I have mixed feelings about Papa John's overall, but I got it. And this was before I was talking about going to hang out with you in the second half. I had ordered the pizza beforehand.
Right.
And I was just going to get it and eat it later or whatever. But so the Uber's coming. By the way, I have a house key at my place in a lockbox. The last time I tried to open the lockbox,
Oh,
it
God.
wouldn't open.
Oh gosh.
So this whole time, I'm like, I'm going to go back home. Let's see if I can open the
Oh, my
lockbox.
God.
So
Okay.
so there was like a chance that I was probably going to call you and
Yeah.
stay at your place if I
Right.
stay here. If
Holy smokes.
But I still was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want the pizza.
Yeah.
Like
no,
in all
Yeah,
the
right.
situation, I was like, I'm at
course.
least getting my fucking pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I walk over to I cancel the Uber, walk over to Papa John's and get a new Uber to pick me up at Papa John's. The van like pulls up, and then I'm like, I don't have water. I don't have I just did I need water in me
Yeah.
like real bad.
Yeah.
And so like as the van was pulling up, I ran back into Papa John's. I was like, can I buy this water? And I bought a Sprite because I'm, no, it was
The story details are getting better and better
It
as
was
we
it
go
wasn't
here.
Sprite. It was the other
Starry.
Starry. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing, man. This is how I tell stories.
This is like you were a child. You just grabbed your phone, ran out of the house.
Yeah.
And you'll be, I'll be back in 10 hours. You have no money,
Yeah.
no keys.
Yeah.
You're like, I hope you're still here when I get back because you're not going to be here.
Yes. And so then I got the buzzer beater. I got the liquid I needed. And then why is liquid the only word I could think of? But then they took me back and dropped me off, and my porch light also doesn't. The bulb is out, and I haven't changed it. So I walked up onto this.
No one is
darkened-
surprised that
I
you've
walked up
got-
onto this. It was a few days.
You-
ago. I walked up onto this darkened.
It's
It
still-
was like 2 weeks ago. I walked up on the porch, put my pizza down. And then the key is in the back, so I took this defeated walk around to the back, let's fucking see.
Yeah.
And so I tried to
Yeah.
do it, and it wouldn't work. It still wouldn't work. I was like, fuck.
Okay.
And then it occurred to me, I was like, maybe the key's just stuck weird. And so I just shook it, and I heard the key fall, and I opened it, and there we go. And I got to go inside.
Okay.
Needless to say, I did not join Jason
Yeah.
at wherever it was that you were.
Yeah.
And but I did get back in time for the halftime show.
Okay, so you made
Oh,
it.
Which
all
is
right. Well,
really all, that was in fact that was one of my first thoughts when I
Yeah.
got to the gym. After I was like, I can't drive home, I'm stuck here. The next one was like, oh, the halftime show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got back in time, and boy, howdy.
Before we get to that,
Yeah, of course.
as
'cause I
far
have
as
things
your
too.
your
yeah, okay, yeah. We'll talk.
your
listen,
put togetherness
Sure.
is in question.
Okay.
Let's just start
Shall I
there.
remind
I
you
would
that I
agree.
ran 9 miles?
That has very
It's a
little
different kind of
very
put
little
togetherness.
little bearing
I have
on
some put togetherness in different arenas. Not everyone's talented at everything except for Jordan.
That's not true. All right, okay. So I'll start with a couple things.
All right, yep.
One,
Hit me.
maybe this is just on me. Jason, tell me if you go here. Whenever you say I've had a mishap, I always assume a woman is involved. So I'm actually very
you
shocked.
started that sentence. I knew what the rest of it was.
I was actually not expecting this story to be the way it is. But okay,
Yeah,
fine.
you're right. That is you.
You mean
most of
you
my.
mean PG? Is
most
that what
of-
you mean?
Oh, sure.
Just
Yeah.
kinda-
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, come on. I don't.
I'm
well,
just
off
kidding.
mic.
I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
off mic. You're not kidding about off mic. But,
No, yeah, go ahead.
So my other
I
thing-
already knew, so that's why.
So you was with me? Okay.
Yeah.
My second thing, I'm actually all right. I'm a little confused here because you said when you started to run, the weather was really good. Which you're right, it was.
like 60 something.
Why did you even go to the gym?
Right. So there's 2 reasons.
Okay.
One.
Two runners talking. This is my favorite thing.
Yeah, it was. Well, this is pretty basic shit. Jason's in hell. So I don't have sidewalks where I live.
Okay, all right, fine.
So like I didn't, which is fine during the day, but it was like evening.
I'm just gonna
and
drink this.
I'm not trying to run on no sidewalks at that time. And so, I mean, that's the main reason. And then I just was like, well, that I like the surrounding area around the gym too. There's like neighborhoods and stuff.
Okay, got it.
And-
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it was somewhere to put my key, which would have been a good thing if
Yeah.
I had gotten back
Yeah.
at
Okay.
7.
Fair enough.
I just think it is totally an understandable mistake to be made.
Sure.
But there's something very funny about a late 30s adult
Yeah.
man
Yeah,
who
oh,
finds
totally.
themselves just completely exposed to the
Dude,
weather and
It
unable
was-
to get into your house.
It was my parents forgetting to come pick me up energy
Yes.
times a million.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I was literally sitting on the steps in shorts.
I can say I did have one anticipation. It's funny you said you were going to call me. You sent that text or whatever, and I was like, how is this going to affect me?
By the time I
What
texted
is-
you, I was home.
You were already there.
because
okay.
I didn't want to like create the dynamic
Yeah.
of you feeling like it was actually I was being
You were
considerate
being
with that.
there was a lot of emojis at the start of like a lot of like the squinty eyed
this
emoji
guy
and all
like
that. Yeah, the
hand
face
up,
palm guy.
Face palm.
I was just like, where's
So
this going?
but I was keeping that option open to text you and actually needing help. But I was like,
Yeah.
let's try and keep the text until I actually get home, so Jason doesn't feel guilty and blah 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 blah.
It would have been fine. I would have
I
made
know.
fun of you.
I know, but it would have
Incessantly.
And that too. I would have preferred the mocking to happen once I was inside and warm.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, totally
No,
fair.
that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and full of pizza. I get it. That makes sense.
I ate that whole pizza.
You, as you should, ran 9 miles. Yeah,
Yeah.
you burned off pretty much enough calories to eat that whole pizza.
Offset
Did
it,
you just do that
roughly.
math? You did caloric math right there?
No, well,
no, I guarantee I ate more than what would that be? Roughly
Well-
900 calories. I guarantee I ate.
That's why I love running.
to
It's very
offset it,
efficient.
It's so
You
efficient.
run 1 minute, you burn like 10 calories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Alright.
a 20-minute run will burn off like a pack of M&Ms. Like it's very efficient.
is-
that's how
you
I
got
think
it
about
down to the-
So I thought like, all right, 900 calories, depending on what you ate for the rest
Not
of the day.
much.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably were fine eating that pizza.
Nice.
Anyway, though, you were just sitting there on the steps, and it sounded like you had a lot running through your mind,
Yeah.
which means you probably weren't zoning out. Presented by the Comedy Zone, everybody. My name is Jordan Century. Here with my co-host,
Oh my god,
Jonathan Williams.
People didn't
Jason
even know.
Alking.
They didn't even know
Yeah.
where they were.
Masterful.
And now we let them know.
Yeah.
masterful.
Well done, my friend. Well done. That's really good. Did we do our thing? Jordan Century?
Yeah,
Mr. Williams Comedy?
Mr. Williams Comedy, Jonathan Williams,
King Jason Allen. That's awesome. Great stuff. We're glad you're okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
very much so.
I appreciate
I
that.
can say that. I'm not
It's
a
good
monster.
to know that you don't actively want me
to
freezing
suffer.
to death
Yeah,
outside.
nah. It did actually, in my mind, I was like, I have a like a hide a key thing like on the property.
Right.
I I think I know where it is. So now I'm like, I probably need to find that.
Yeah.
I also now know that my lockbox works
Yeah.
again. Lockbox works
There
again.
you go.
Fox on socks. It's the Dr. Seuss thing.
But you got back for the show, huh?
For the show. So speaking of which,
I mean, let's
guys watch
we'll
it?
just cover the game real quick. Very glad that the Eagles won.
I am too.
I am too.
Very pleased.
I am too. Also very shocked. One, that
Yeah.
they won. Two,
The just
the dominance.
obliteration
Dominance.
Yeah.
was wild.
I'm such a big fan of Saquon Barkley that I've just been rooting for him all year. I'm not an Eagles fan, and so that's awesome. I also kind of like Jalen Hurts too.
I like Jalen Hurts. a
So
lot,
yeah,
You
I
want to
think,
know? You want to know the main reason that I'm happy the Eagles won? Because I don't really give a shit, and it has nothing to do with Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Sure.
It was because before the game, our fearless leader, the president of the United States of America,
I've heard of him.
he said that he thought the Chiefs were going to win, and I don't know if he said he hoped they would win, but like we know he hoped they would win because
Sure.
Brittany Mahomes is like a big
Oh yeah.
MAGA person. And Jalen Hurts is one of the few people who openly said fuck Trump.
Really?
Like most people,
Didn't know that.
most players just like kind of mind their manners and sort of walk on eggshells, which I get it. But he like openly was saying like,
It's an interesting choice of words there.
And what's
I don't
Mind
think
their-
he probably didn't say it like that.
Okay.
what did I say?
Mind their manners.
Oh, that's what you were talking
Walk on eggshells as far as players. And how to
Yeah, I
handle
mean
that.
that's kind of
I
there's a
agree
lot
with that.
there's
So?
a lot of pressure on them. I feel like the NFL, the teams, they all
Especially
want-
in the NFL, you don't want to be a distraction in the locker room.
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I get
and
it.
and like we've talked about, the more conservative demographic of NFL compared to other sports.
Yeah, no, he's
I mean,
100%
obviously it's a very diverse. I mean, it's everybody.
Yeah, I'm
but,
just
like,
thinking it. Those walk on eggshells is kind of what got me. But anyway,
I
that's
might,
fine.
I might be
I have
overstating
more to think about it, but that's
I might be
interesting.
overstating it.
There's
but-
certainly been some backlash for it. So, but anyway,
so
that's not the point
so
of
to
this.
watch his team lose and get dominated, and the guy running the show actively does not like him, was just amazing. And but
Chef's
that was
kiss.
but that chef's kiss. But that was all just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Because the real story of the night. I mean, of course, for me, because I'm just like a diehard Kendrick fan.
And it has come to that, right? Like halftime shows are highly sort of
Yeah.
viewed, criticized,
Oh,
all
yeah.
that.
This-
Absolutely.
But this one, even outside of my fanhood, right? I'm not just. I'm like, this one was kind of like pivotal. Like it was like a cultural moment.
I think-
sort of unprecedented level of cultural moment for the halftime show.
I think it's because you're a big fan. You're saying that.
I don't think so, dude. I really don't think so. I
So-
mean, that's part of it, of course, but let's talk about it more. And yeah.
So I would say that you're right, but what I would say then is you have to remember everybody isn't necessarily of the culture.
I know.
And this is kind of what I was saying to Jason earlier. It's
that's the
like
point.
I can't. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I could also understand why there's like some critiques coming in because it wasn't for mass appeal.
I think it was specifically
By design, yeah. I'm with
to piss off people. No, I mean not only that. I think one half of it, because he even says, I wish I had it pulled up exactly what he said, but he said, shit. It was like, he's like, this is bigger than music, and he literally says 40 acres and a mule. Like he's talking about all this shit about the broken promise of what America is, specifically to, I mean, more broadly to lots of people, but specifically to black culture. And he made all these direct references. Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam coming in and saying that part was too ghetto.
Yeah.
He said that on the Super Bowl, dude.
yeah.
And then like in everything about it, and there's all these like moments of symbolism. There's like tons of stuff that my mind's racing right now, so I'm not speaking very articulately
I
about
think
it.
my point was, I think I'll even go so far as say most people didn't register
Dude.
any of that, and therefore that's why I don't
No.
think it's this historical moment.
It is.
It may be later.
I'll
It's
keep
just-
going, man, because yes, you're right. There's so many layers to it that of course it's going to be lost on most
Yeah.
people. But some of it was very clear, and just the MAGA reaction, they're losing it. Dude.
That is true.
They are losing.
I love
it.
they were saying it was satanic.
Of course, yeah, of course, of course.
My God.
That one got me
I feel
giddy.
like that's the
I was like,
go-to.
ooh,
Yeah, of course.
satanic.
And I really
dip into
loved.
that.
I know a lot of people deeply disagree with me on this.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the tracks, like the choice of songs.
Yeah.
Because for several reasons. One being very few of the songs had hooks, and even the ones that did, he didn't really do them.
Yeah.
And they were all super rap centric songs. Like he was rapping almost the whole time.
I thought that too. That's something
Almost the
because
whole
I don't
time.
know the songs as well, obviously.
Yeah,
and
with
I remember
no
thinking, I was like,
backing track.
he's rapping everything.
He was
This isn't
rapping, and there's no the only things that were like pre-recorded were some of the more hook type moments, but like dude was rapping for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and people, and that like it was not a comfortable experience for white America. And I think that was by design. Like and who guess what? Guess who?
I got to be honest. I'm pushing back again. I don't think that most had any.
I'm not
my
saying
parents, but you're just saying
I'm not
that, like,
saying the
white
nuance,
America was uncomfortable.
I'm not saying
I
the
don't think a lot
nuances of it hit everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but dude, look at the MAGA reaction. They're livid, dude. They're livid.
I think that they probably were prepared to be livid, as opposed to my parents who watched. My parents didn't watch and go, boy, we're white people. They just didn't.
Yeah,
they just did. And this
okay.
is not to put my parents into the crosshairs, but you know what I mean. The average mom and dad or whatever, I don't think watched that and went, we really need to think about our whiteness.
No, I don't. But I don't think it was like It was provocative.
I agree. I think still say I think the majority of people probably missed it, but I do think it was provocative. You know what I mean? Those two things I think can be, I think for the people who were interested and really into it and and maybe didn't quite understand, because I don't think I got. I said that. I don't think I got all of the layers of what was going on.
I didn't either.
There's a couple moments where it's kind of like, okay, I feel that. So I'm not disagreeing. I'm just disagreeing with it. Suddenly, everybody, white America, got it.
Okay, yeah.
All.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I don't think that at all. But I think you said something earlier. You said like maybe it will be later. I think this does have a huge long-term impact. I don't know. Jordan, your thoughts? The two white guys have been talking a lot about it. It's
God
classic.
damn it.
It's typical.
It is.
So
It is.
I do kind of lean more into what Jason is saying, in the sense that I think the performance was for the people that got it, if that makes sense. And for what I'm saying is, I think there was a lot of things, like I don't think a lot of people watching at home really understood what Samuel L. Jackson's character was.
Even when he was saying "too ghetto," I
don't think they understand necessarily the tongue-in-cheekness of it. Like some of them I've been watching, I was like, yeah, he's right. I don't think they really got what the commentary,
right.
the meta-ness of it. I don't think they were really, it was registering.
Yeah.
And so
That's fair.
The people that got it thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing. But I think a lot of people, you're right. And then even the people that do understand Kendrick's art, he always has
So
such
many levels.
layers.
Yeah.
There's still gonna be things that we're gonna see a week from now. It's gonna be I didn't even get that part.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess I'll at least say I think that's the grand design of it. Whether or not it hit, whether or not everybody was hit exactly in the moment, exactly like how I see it, is I guess a different question.
Yeah,
But-
different part of the conversation, and I kind of feel like I hit the brakes on this a little bit, and I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
with that sort of in mind, run
But-
with this, because I think it
But
was
I do think
awesome.
that what I was saying is what happened on stage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the intention behind, one of the intentions behind it. One intention was also just to look at the camera with a big smile on his face and say Drake.
yeah, no, that was hilarious.
And the jeans were a big part of everything too.
Boot Cut's back in.
It is, dude.
I was
It
waiting for
is.
this conversation.
Announced that this was the arrival
Oh my
of
God.
Boot Cut
Boot Cut is
into the
back.
2020s.
Yeah.
That's what it was
Okay.
already happening. It was all, but
Yeah.
that was the moment where he's like, "It's 2004 again, baby."
Yeah.
Someone said something about he's like. Something. It was like, who is that little guy, or how tall is that little guy? How tall is he?
He's not. He's
He's
5'7".
like
Five, yeah,
Five,
something
six,
like
five,
that.
seven.
5'7". I was like, I'm a bigger fan than I was before. And so something that I read that I don't know, maybe you guys can speak to this, was the idea of Drake actually representing something.
Oh, 100%.
This is something I never heard before.
Yes.
That Drake represents sort of the what was the word they used? Like he's a plant.
industry plant.
Industry plant. So this makes sense to me that he's still harping on. I say still, but he's harping on Drake because Drake's also representative
Drake is
of
a
something
symbol.
else.
100%.
A symbol. Yeah. I'd
Was
never heard that before.
This was all of it, not just the Super Bowl. All of it was never really about Drake. It was, but it wasn't. Like,
hang on.
I'm specifically.
I'm reading.
It was,
I'm reading
but it's
facial.
like I know I'm seeing it too, and I kind of anticipated that, to be honest. But I think it's Drake. It is about Drake, but I also think it's about everything that Drake represents.
Yeah.
Which is watered down, like not really understanding the traditions he's engaging in, sort of picking and choosing whatever makes him rich. You know, like
Are we at risk of being sued or
probably?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
I just wanna-
Well, there's and then he brings up. He even says
it,
the thing
right?
about getting sued.
Sued,
yeah.
But
Which I thought was awesome.
yeah, it was amazing.
That
loved
again.
it.
Just I know
Yeah.
this much of the backstory from you guys, and I was like, "Ooh, he said
the
it."
whole
He said it.
and people were not sure whether he was even going to say. We talked about that. I
Yeah.
guess whether he was actually going to say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing. So I don't want to read too much into this, except I do.
Okay.
Want to read too much. I hope that this is it, but I'm sure there's whatever. But just the fact, even if it wasn't about this, just the fact of Donald Trump leaving the moment the performance was over, which he did.
Oh, that's when I kind of figured.
Interesting.
Yeah, he
Okay.
left. He left. So like, I mean, I whether or not that really was what leaving was about, I love reading it that way.
Yeah.
And I do. Here's what. Okay. I one thing that I was sort of hoping for that I also knew was for sure not going to happen was him saying something direct. Saying something direct about the president or to the president. That's just not his
yeah.
style.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah.
I kind of hoped he would. I kept imagining him going, "Hey Don,"
Yeah.
or "Hey Drake," "Hey Don," or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of hated that cutaway to the president all the time. It felt like the fucking Politburo in
I'm sure he
Rocky
insisted
4.
on it.
You guys remember Rocky 4?
I do not.
The Politburo would sit. They had them with the lighting and everything. I was just like, what are we doing? It's
Everything's
so
dude. Propaganda is
yeah.
getting into everything.
Yeah, it
dude.
is. It is.
So,
Oh, it was so annoying.
but
people didn't want to see Taylor Swift. I was like, I want to see that.
yeah, dude,
Knucklehead
that they
up there.
booed her and not him makes me furious.
Yeah.
There's plenty of valid criticisms to make of Taylor Swift for sure, but like for her to get booed and not him,
I think comparing her to Trump in any way
Oh,
is
I know.
complete
Yeah, that's
bullshit.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
am too.
Get
I am
the
too.
fuck, yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like there are like I do understand.
I don't
problems
think
with
you
her.
even needed to qualify the statement.
fair enough,
Fuck,
fair enough,
like,
fair
that,
enough.
Come on, that guy sucks. That guy sucks. I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
man.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. But I also like I have a theory.
Okay.
I have a few, but I'll just stick. I'll stick to one for the moment.
We know you,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
So he ends with TV off, which
Uh-huh.
made sense. It made sense from several perspectives. It's the most current hit. I mean, Not Like Us is still. It's
Okay. I have a
permeating
theory
throughout
about this part too.
So
I'm interested
okay,
to see where
so
you
it
go.
makes sense from like a commercial point of view. Although none of this really made sense from a commercial point of view.
Mm-hmm.
All of this was kind of fuck you to the commercialism,
Which
of
is
it.
funny because it's the most commercial
I know.
thing in the country.
That's the
yeah.
beautiful irony
Yeah.
of it. But so ending with TV off, he literally said the last words he says are "Turn this TV off," and so I think that I feel confident actually that closing with that song was like, you didn't like it, turn the fucking TV off, you know, and
Okay.
and I also my conspiracy theory goes even more back to was the intention of that song in the first place. Because when GNX came out, he already knew he was doing the Super Bowl. He literally talks about,
Yeah.
you know,
He's talking
won
about
the Super Bowl and Nas the only one. Congratulate me, you know, like and the thing about Lil Wayne and all that. So like all of this, he knew this was all happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think TV Off was specifically written. Of course, it has multiple layers, like everything he does. But I think he had the Super Bowl in mind, that moment in mind when he wrote TV Off.
I could see that, especially left the line earlier in the song where he says "Walk in New Orleans with the etiquette of LA." Yeah, I'm sure he was
Yeah.
planning on doing that at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's even more clear. Yeah, that's not a conspiracy theory at all.
Yeah,
That's
no,
very
I'm
clear.
sure he was planning on doing that record.
that's just correct. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. I have a theory. Jason, I'm pulling you back in for this one.
Let's do it.
So he ended the show with the game over.
Game over. Yeah.
Like lit up in the crowd, right? Okay. I don't think it's really game over. And what I mean by this
Hell
is like
no.
last week when we were talking about he's about to go on this tour, right?
Yeah.
And people are going to be like recording themselves singing the A minor line. If you really play video games, you know there's the main game that you beat, and then there's a post game where you get like additional like things.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like if you've ever played like Pokemon, you don't
Yeah.
get to go capture Mewtwo, the most powerful Pokemon in the game, until
Yeah.
after you've beat the Elite Four.
Sure.
Like, so this is like, yeah, the main mission is accomplished, but like I'm not done trolling you.
And he's
Like,
on a
this is-
PlayStation pad.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
It was the X and all. Yeah. That's okay.
Well,
I like that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
That also works on another level of like, or a sort of tangential side level of like, just in case it wasn't clear, I win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I like that too. I buy because this whole, we talked about it before. This whole idea of like, and now he's done. Nah,
Yeah,
man.
no, not at all.
Especially
I
because
agree,
it is bigger
yeah.
than Drake. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
is about him, but Drake is a microcosm for a bigger thing. You know, for like just culture, the culture, and just culture in general. Just like being.
Do we know what is the next? Sorry, I cut you.
No,
off
no,
right
that's
there.
fine. I was floundering.
What
anyway.
people do after they do the Super Bowl? Like, is there like a? I know you guys
Like a
probably
party
don't
or
have
whatever?
this. You probably don't have this answer. I just mean career wise.
Yeah.
We can track like you do the Super Bowl. You
Oh, I
go
know.
to the next
Oh,
level.
absolutely. Streams go up like
Yeah.
like not like us shot up like over 400% in streams.
did it? That
There's
doesn't surprise
that.
me, but-
Typically, artists want to plan an album to drop right before or right after. I think Usher did last year. He dropped his album like that Friday before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They go off on this whole
Yeah.
tour. Kendrick
Okay.
already has this tour lined up. Like
Yeah.
that's.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually like have things in place like that. There's usually going to be some new music or a tour or something
Yeah.
like that. The only person that hasn't done that as of late, well, I guess two people
Dr. Dre.
technically, Dr. Dre and them, but they are all like real
That,
legacy.
that was
acts. Like,
legacy.
that's kind of
yeah,
like
that was the whole
Right.
point of that was legacy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because
because Kendrick
was
was on
on it.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's
is
It's
kinda
kind of
wild.
crazy that he was on 2 Super Bowls
Right.
in 3 years.
right.
Yeah.
yeah. So there's that, and then the other one would be Rihanna, and I would even venture to say if she wasn't pregnant at the time, she probably would have tried to like
yeah.
tour off of that or drop a new album, something.
You know she has new music coming out.
They've been saying that for a decade.
No.
plus. I don't-
No. Listen, this is confirmed, but it's for the Smurfs soundtrack.
Just when you couldn't like Rihanna enough.
I do love Rihanna.
Yeah.
I think Rihanna really like is trolling her fans at this point because because the last time she
You might
released
be
music
right.
was for the Black Panther soundtrack. Like, she will not give them just a song,
Yeah.
a
Smurfs is
normal
hilarious.
song.
That
The
is
fact that she's
very
doing,
funny.
I think you're right. I think she is trolling.
Yeah,
but
that is crazy.
I just saw that today.
And how about SZA? She showed
Says
up.
that she dropped 4 new songs the moment, like
Really?
moments before. Yeah,
I didn't see
so
that yet.
it's and she integrated them into. So now SOS Lana Deluxe is even longer.
It's gotta be like 40 tracks.
Oh,
This is-
shit. I
this
did
is a Chris
see
Brown
that.
It's
album.
like It's like 42
see
songs
that.
or something, and they're
She's
great,
incredible,
dude.
man. She is.
There,
There is something about her voice that is so. I hate people to try to describe it. It's just there's a soft like. No matter what she's doing, it feels comfortable to hear it. I don't know.
that's
how
great.
else-
That's a great
like
way to
it's,
put it. She
mhm.
never feels like she's straining. She
Yeah.
never feels.
Yeah.
She's emotionally straining.
Yeah.
To a degree that's next level, but like. She always feels like she's doing exactly what she wants to do
Yeah.
vocally. For
I-
sure.
she's fantastic. I like her.
And she's like always, and she's often. I like she's kind. She's kind of like Frank in this way.
Oh boy.
In that, like her melodies are often so sort of like intricate that they're almost rap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, like the
and-
SOS
yeah,
track in particular
Right? Yeah,
comes to
exactly.
mind, yeah.
The opening, the actual song SOS is is more or less rapping,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that. Sometimes she very rarely. Actually, like full on raps occasionally.
Yeah, like
And
Spoken on My
Spoken
X-Pac. That was-
That's a
that's a
solid
great-
verse, dude.
I'm sorry, Jason. We're
That's
going.
okay.
we're
I've
going-
heard you guys say that before, by the way.
No,
so
but I
kinda
think
knew what you
that's
were
part of
talking
it
about.
is that she's so in control of like what she's
Yeah.
doing and she decides like now it's time for melody.
Yeah.
Now it's time for something closer to rap. Now it's for something in between. It's and nobody. I really the reason I bring up Frank is because really that sort of specific thing she's doing, that is the only other person I've heard do like quite that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's great.
The last thing, that the 40 acres and a mule.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he said that on the significance of that, like you said, like y'all are right what you said before, that significance is not going to hit most people.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, and the biggest television event in the world, basically, and certainly in America, and it's essentially a national holiday, right?
Yeah.
For him,
Fair.
for him to say it's more a national holiday than a lot of actual national holidays. Not to mention holidays being rolled back.
I mean,
but
it's no Flag Day, but I get
that's
it.
a great point. So for him to say 40 acres and a mule, basically full on saying, "Hey, this country isn't working for us."
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? And
That's
I don't
so
mean
good.
I don't mean to keep like being counter to you.
That's fine.
I actually think 40 acres and a mule would be anyone under 35. Do they even know what that means?
That one.
Versus-
That
I think
one.
that's an
I-
older
yeah.
person.
That one I fully agree
Yeah.
is like is not getting everybody. But the significance of it, I think what you said really early on was a good like modification of my point, because I was saying like it's this big deal, it's this historic moment, and I do think that, but I think you're probably right that how significant it is will
Yeah.
hit later.
And I think there's something to be said for, and I Jordan, I don't want to kind of speak culturally about it, but
I
is
do it all the time.
also a
You do.
I'll I'll ask it in a way. Is it to some degree a cultural, I don't know, rallying cry, or like, I don't know, is culturally people going to see that and go, thank you, like that was awesome, you did the thing that we wanted you to do?
I would say so too, because again, when I say like it was for the people that got it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you haven't seen that much rapping on the Super Bowl ever.
Right.
Like ever. And to go to, and how Samuel L. Jackson's character plays into like trying to get Kendrick to play the game, and Kendrick's refusal.
Which is very clear coded language, right?
But again, some people won't get that, because
Yeah.
there's even certain stuff that said that, like when Samuel said like, "Oh, you brought your homeboys with you,"
Yeah.
the cultural cheat code.
That one I will confess, I'm a little confused by that one. I didn't understand that.
What,
The
bro?
cultural cheat code part. I
Oh,
didn't really read up on it, so like, what can you? I was a little.
I
I didn't
took
know what to
it-
do with that one.
so I took it as almost accusing Kendrick as being disingenuous, or not him, but how other people may use it as a disingenuous way. Like if you want to reference Drake, for example, like bringing like his like relatives from Memphis to be in a music video with him,
Right.
even though this guy grew up with his mom in Canada and may not even like know those people. You have like people that are really of the culture to surround you to make you look like you're more of the culture.
Okay.
The cultural
And why
cheat
was
code.
and why do you think that was? Because each time he's commenting on the songs he just did, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because then he's
Yeah.
like, "That's too ghetto. You need to do something." What does he say? Like calmer, like cleaner, like something like that.
Yeah.
And then so what is it about that section that had Man at the Garden and Humble and DNA? I think that was it for that section. What is it about that section that said cultural cheat code, you brought your boys with you? You know what I mean?
I'm trying to remember the perform, because I feel like he said that. Was it right after Man?
Right after
or
Man
right
at the Garden,
before?
which was like it could have to do with some super deep cut, or at least to me deep cut reference that I didn't get, because Man at the Garden very notably was a cappella.
Yeah.
The all of the background was
I
just
thought it was great how he did that
dudes
too, yeah.
singing. It was like dudes singing, and I don't know whether that specific thing was like, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to connect that to like what those songs were. Those were also super. I'd say that was the part of the show. Was Peekaboo in there too?
Yeah, it was.
In that part?
Yeah, yeah.
Peekaboo.
Not in that part.
Oh, and dude, did Euphoria.
He did, yeah.
I did
That
not
was really
expect
awesome.
Euphoria. I did not expect Peekaboo. Those were both shockers for me, because Peekaboo is it makes sense in retrospect, but Peekaboo is not a comfortable. It's like, it goes pretty hard. It's like weird. It's sort of mumbly.
It is, yeah.
And like,
It
and
is.
it's not a I'm in a stadium song. It's a like I'm gonna be a little aggressive and scary song, but not even loud.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
to what Jason was saying is like he didn't cater to
Yeah.
the large middle
Exactly.
America audience
right.
that's
Exactly.
very much watching the Super Bowl. He did it for the people that got it.
Which was I just loved that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I have like I'm just as you can tell, I have not stopped being
Sure.
like electrified.
Yeah,
I've
sure.
watched it like 5 times. Like
When I think, and just let's put ourselves in the other people's places. When you think of the Super Bowl halftime show, it's like, oh, who's it going to be? It's going to be fun. It's going to be
Spectacle.
It has become something it's become its own thing, right? Even with
Right.
the Super Bowl. It feels like this is one of the first times where it became something even greater than it
Yes.
ever was before. And you felt that.
I think
and
so,
I think
too.
there's so many people. I had so many people on all the feeds. They were like, that was the worst one.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of like I didn't get it. It was a lot of like what was that?
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah.
bad. And it's
goes to
really
your point,
funny
Jordan.
that they
it's
didn't.
not for them.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Absolutely wasn't. Now, I will say one thing I will give credit to for maybe not credit, but to like kind of
To people who are criticizing.
yeah. What I will say is I did notice during the actual live viewing of it, parts of it weren't mixed well. There were parts where it
Interesting.
was hard to understand what Kendrick was
Fair
saying.
enough.
So
Yeah.
if you already aren't a fan, you don't already like know the lyrics,
Yeah.
and then that happens. Yeah, I can understand why maybe it's not resonating to you what he's saying.
Right. And it was much less of it was visually careful and composed and beautiful and meaningful, but it was not a spectacle.
Yeah.
Like it was not.
That's what I said. There were no big set
Yeah,
pieces.
there were no big set pieces.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
think that was very much
Yeah.
by design.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also say I don't know because the way the NFL I think has like stepped up their game as far as like playing the halftime performances for people at home watching it on TV. Like the way they do camera cuts and like all these
Sure.
things nowadays. Like I don't necessarily know if you need like the big set pieces.
Sure.
Like I thought it looked beautiful how it was done.
I still think that was a statement, though. That was part of the
But
thing.
it felt scaled down. I'd be hard pressed to not say that wasn't a purposeful.
I think Kendrick had, in fact, it seems clear that Kendrick had like total creative control over this thing, which I don't know how. How in the world did he manage
Well,
to get that much creative control?
I-
Jay-Z.
Yeah, I guess you're
Yeah,
right.
I think
Because
Jay-Z.
like,
Oh, yeah, that's a good
that
point.
is the biggest thing, and
Yeah.
executives weren't in there giving notes on that. Like
Yeah.
that was not appealing to the.
I mean, I don't
masses.
think we
No.
know that, but you're
It
probably
seems
right.
highly unlikely that producers who had actual power would be like, yes, approved.
Well,
Oh
my-
no! Here's what I would say. They were probably giving notes. Kendrick probably just
didn't
didn't
listen.
Yeah.
Just didn't-
I'm sure because I'm with Jason. I have a hard time believing no one tried.
Yeah.
To weigh
Yeah.
in.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
There were
But
a lot of
but-
hands, yeah.
But still, the fact that he was, like, they had to know. Like, they saw the set. They saw that he wasn't doing giant balloon animal. What was that one year? There
my
was, like,
my
the
hunch
shark
is,
or whatever.
My hunch is they did know what they were getting, though. I do believe that. I do
Yeah.
believe that Jay-Z and probably his company were probably very much. Listen, it's still a business. So they were there going, this is what it is. Just wait. Like, it'll be good. Don't worry. And there was a lot of.
I feel like
there was
Jay-Z
probably a lot
may
of
have been
buffering.
playing them though. May have been a little bit
I
playing
mean,
them.
I don't
total
think so.
speculation.
Because
but-
I mean, y'all saw what
just guessing.
happened.
I'm just
The
guessing.
set
Yeah,
list
I mean-
leaked.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
yeah, and the whole story is.
Oh,
because
I
of
do know. I did know that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Who was
DJ
it?
Academics.
God, that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Really?
But DJ Academics leaked it because apparently he got the set list from someone that like I guess works at the stadium or whatever, had been hearing the practices, and so they knew the set list. And the story is the person that worked at the stadium leaked that set list to Academics in hopes that Kendrick would change it because
Really?
he didn't like the set list.
And
That's
yeah,
really
Academics
funny.
has no agenda there at all.
Well, yeah,
he's
so
like
there's that,
he's
too.
like the defender of Drake.
Yeah. But I say
Oh,
to
wow.
your point, Jason, of yeah, I'm sure they knew what the song
Yeah.
were going
That's.
to be.
I mean, I guess credit to the producer. Like that was
Yeah.
not for the masses.
It's weird that the NFL is a as an organization pretty powerful. I think.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I'm saying. That's why I'm so surprised by it. I'm just like, man, they really.
So I guess my point is I don't think anyone was sneaking anything by him. If I had to guess.
then to me, that's even more surprising.
Yeah.
If that's true.
I mean,
because like there's like I said, he
don't
didn't
know.
play. He didn't.
I would go with you on that. I guess.
Humble's a hit. Like, but he didn't play hits. He didn't play hooks.
So I would say this. I don't know if it really is that surprising in the sense that, yes, the NFL knows who their fan base is, and then I think they also know who their fan base is going to be. Middle America
Go
is
on.
going to continue to age out, and the fan base,
Yeah.
if you want to retain like a large,
Oh.
so
Nice.
you gotta start
They are
appealing to a younger
forward-thinking, yeah.
demographic.
Nice.
Yeah, you gotta
So-
be able to walk the lines.
My
Well,
friend said this,
good
and
point.
this might be just just kind of shooting from the hip. My friend said this, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I thought the same thing. Was it felt like the music and the setup and all that felt very "This Is America." Is that a fair,
Totally.
fair
I
assessment?
think so. Yeah, because it was all a critique. I mean, maybe not aesthetically exactly that, but the same
yeah,
goals.
yes,
same energy.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I thought that was
I mean, all
pretty
the
great. Which I
flag
love
stuff.
that. Yeah.
So there's one, I don't know if this is intentional or not, and I wish I had it pulled up and ready to go, but it seems possible. So there's one part when I think it's in Humble, it's in that set piece where it's all dudes who are dressed in a way that creates the flag, right?
Which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
that
Beautiful.
was great. Yeah,
Beautiful. And the one person who is not, and they bend down. All of them bend down. They kneel down, and that like shows the colors more. And Kendrick does not do anything. He just stands there, right? I think there was clear symbolism to that. He's like, I'm not bending down to the flag. I'm not. And someone put it side by side with this picture. This is maybe a stretch, but it still was cool to see, at least visually, of that shot of him standing there with everyone else, knelt down, to this dude in Germany, in the thick of it when like Hitler was on the rise, or maybe at the top. It's this one dude. They're all doing the salute. It's it's this huge. Everyone's doing
I know
the
what you're
salute
talking
except
about.
this one dude
Yeah.
just standing there, and he ended up
Yeah.
that cost him his
Cosmo's life.
basically.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Wow.
what
And
you're
like
talking about.
slowly. Like
I didn't
it cost
see
him his
that
career and it cost
comparison.
Looking
but
at
yeah.
it's not the kind of thing where I'd say he's definitely referencing that, but you do look at it and the composition of the shot, like
Yeah.
it's all you're like, that is striking. And
Yeah.
whether it's intentional or not, I don't know. But if anybody would do that, it would be Kendrick.
Yeah, I it was the more kind of we talk about and stuff. It's going to be fun to see this be referred to and see what it feels like.
It's going to become a
historically,
touchstone. I
Yeah.
really do think so, especially in this context.
Yeah.
like
He does. What's the name of that song? I'm gonna be all right.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
precisely
yeah, it's
that.
that. Uh-huh. All right, I know we're coming up on probably time for a break, but I will
Yeah,
mention one more thing.
Yeah, do.
And this might be a reach too. I like how he started the game kneeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think that's even a little bit.
You thought that's what he was
Yeah.
going for?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I read that
like,
too, yeah.
Like, I mean, it wasn't, and it was a little. It wasn't full on Kaepernick.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think he was trying to
Okay.
get at that for sure. I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot to.
Because there was one shot where it had what I interpreted as where there's one video where he's up on the light post.
Uh-huh.
He's sitting up on the light post and rapping.
Oh, that's all right.
That's all right.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
that is. I didn't want to say that, but I thought that was
Yeah,
it.
it-
So in one of the set pieces, they're all
have
sitting
that
around,
lamp.
and the light post
Yeah.
is there, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, is he gonna go up there? Like, because I was like, that's
And he'll be,
one of
like,
the things that I
flying,
know.
like,
I was like,
because
yeah.
in that video he's like flying. He's like
Yeah.
floating above the.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. This is amazing. We have a lot more to talk about when we come back, right?
sure do.
There's a couple other
There's some
things we're
stuff.
gonna. Yeah.
Because everybody wasn't happy about the Super Bowl. There were people at home tweeting about a lot of things.
Yeah.
That we can get to that.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
really?
The
Someone in
stuff that we're
particular,
about
yeah.
to talk about is
It all kind of ties
all
together.
of this leads, and it all traces back to me
Oh my
sitting
God.
on the steps. at the-
The whole country.
Hey, man at the Planet Fitness.
That's right. That's right. I deserved it all.
Oh my god.
And it was in the
All
rain.
right.
You know, there's that like
It was in
rain
the
in the
rain,
background
yes.
of Guardian of the Guard. All right, let's take a break.
Yeah.
All right, right, we'll be back with Zoning Out.
What'd you think about Serena Williams and the halftime show, Jordan? We didn't talk about it.
Dude,
We-
Serena looked good, man.
the major takeaway is
Yeah.
she looked hot.
Yeah, yeah.
But she did. She did. That's
She didn't
not-
look good. No, it was great to see her there, man. And she looked like, okay, I don't know how comfortable you're going to be talking about this.
Come
There have
on,
been
man.
some rumors.
You know, I'll do whatever.
There have been some rumors about her like bleaching her skin or whatever.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
actually know that.
Yeah. So look good to see her. I think look normal.
Just be like. Just
She didn't
be-
really look
be
like she had been
black.
bleaching her.
Like,
Yes, it felt good to see her
Well,
be
that-
black.
I mean,
look
the
black.
significance of her being there, besides the Drake thing, right? So the Drake, she used to be with Drake. Also, she's from Compton.
Yep.
Right. But to me, the biggest significance of her being there is that she is someone in one of the most sort of like publicly. Her blackness has always been at odds
With her sport,
with
yeah.
her sport, and with American consumption of the sport.
Yeah.
And, I mean the number of, we don't really use the term microaggressions anymore, but you know the number of like the amount of coded language of like, oh, she's too loud. Or she's too aggressive.
her body
or
type,
she's too-
yeah,
her body
yeah.
type,
Mhm.
and she's too muscular, and
Yeah.
all this stuff. It's all just she's too black, she's too black,
Yeah.
she's too black, she's too black, she's too black, and she always had to walk that line. And just I can't imagine what that was like, and continues to be, but especially when she was at the height of her career.
Yeah.
And so not only for her to appear is thematically appropriate, but she didn't just appear. She was fucking crip walking.
Grip walking.
Which is
in
the
the
most
Yes,
black a thing as
amazing.
you can do. I mean, I don't know. Should I take that back?
Nah, we'll let it go for now.
No, but you know,
But
I'm
I know- I get what you're
obviously
saying.
exaggerating.
No, I get what you're
but,
saying.
But that's, and she even said, she's like, yeah, if I had done that at Wimbledon,
That's what I was about to say. She
Right?
would have been fine. So,
So-
yeah.
So yeah, like, so that, I think that was very, very significant. Just like, just being like, hi, I'm Serena Williams, and just in case you didn't know, I'm black. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. No, that was
I
amazing.
thought that was a really beautiful and like funny also, like just the energy of it.
It
just
was.
funny, and
Yeah.
and also just it was yet another another diss.
to Drake. Yeah.
Oh man,
Nah, it was funny, man.
I
it was great
loved
to see
that.
her.
I
Yeah.
loved that so much, and she did look good.
She did. She looked good,
That's
man.
just, let's just be real.
Yeah. No, that was an amazing performance. I really enjoyed that. And yeah.
Do what? Oh yeah.
Oh,
let's
okay, yeah.
Let's get into it, and then we can continue it if it feels right to continue it.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, like we were saying, man, everybody wasn't happy about, or just in general.
Okay, so I actually don't know the timing of the. Well, first you can say what happened, but also include what the timing was of the Kanye stuff, because I'm still catching up.
So
on the
this
Kanye
started.
stuff.
He started going on this Twitter rant before the Super Bowl
Okay.
started. Like this started
Like days
a couple
before?
days ago.
Okay,
Like maybe
okay,
started
okay.
on Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've talked about Kanye before and his non-acceptance of what he is in hip hop today.
Right, and his the that he's struggling with being a legacy act.
Yeah.
is what you said is part of it.
Yeah,
right?
it's like he's still fighting for relevance.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw in this whole Twitter rant. He is still fighting
that
for
was on
relevance.
Donda too. I feel like I liked Donda,
Yeah,
but Donda
Donda's-
was trend chasing a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt like don't you
yeah,
think?
there were some
Yeah.
sounds that Kanye usually invents the sound.
Exactly, and he was more like, here's my take on what's happening right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so he kind of started this Twitter rant, which I feel comfortable saying if Kendrick wasn't about to perform at the Super Bowl in a couple days, that whole Twitter rant probably wouldn't have happened.
That's
I
really
think
interesting
it
to
was
me.
jealousy fueled.
I've been listening to you guys because I thought
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
When you were
Yeah.
talking about it, it's like, I'm paying attention. That's exactly. It was like, because he did the same thing at the Grammys.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't a
you're
part
right.
of
You're right,
anything,
you're
so they
right.
had a spectacle and they had made a scene or whatever.
That's been Kanye's move for a long time.
Yeah.
Whenever he's looking to seek attention, he does something like this. Now, I will say,
Same reason Trump went to the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly,
I think you're right.
But and you know, it's funny you mentioned that because Kanye has even said a while back he likes Trump because they have the same dragon energy or something like that. Do you remember that, right?
I didn't know.
We can look it up.
I knew,
No, I'm
I
serious.
knew he was. I mean, I knew he was a MAGA guy for a bit, and now maybe is again. Maybe
I'm
But,
sure he is.
uh,
Yeah,
I'm writing down
But
Dragon.
he
Energy.
Dragon
rolled, he rolled
energy.
back on it for a minute. In fact, that was even a Jay-Z feature on Donda. He says something about take the
Yeah.
red hat off.
Yeah,
I
we're
can't
going
remember
home.
what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
that's
going
right.
home. That's right. And was I in jail?
yeah, it was jail.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
But Kanye had said a lot. I've never seen Twitter. Look, Kanye
we
has
should read
some.
some just so people, if you don't
Yeah,
know what
just
we're
some
talking
of them.
about, can we?
Do you-
could
do you
you-
Yes.
have it-
Oh,
you have it pulled up?
please read the ones you can.
Well, Jordan, there's
preface
some
by
that
saying
you
that.
can read.
Yeah.
Let me.
Well,
I'll,
here's-
I'll say this: Kanye's doing stuff that a bunch of like edgelord comics would love to be doing right now.
Yes.
This is what it is.
Totally.
There's a couple I'm just
I had
like,
not
oh my
thought of
God.
that, but totally.
Yeah.
So this one, this isn't maybe the most indicative of the whole thing, but this is objectively the funniest one. And
Okay, careful.
And before you say it, he is quoting Kanye West.
quoting
Yes.
Kanye West.
This is not a
and
statement
when I
being
say
made.
funny, I don't mean good. I don't mean I approve of it on any level. But just imagining, okay, whatever I'm saying. This might get me in trouble. I might get in trouble
Yeah,
for
there you
this.
go.
Might get in
But
trouble
I'm
for
literally
this.
just reading a tweet from Kanye. All caps, important to know. I turned down 3 photos this week with Make-A-Wish kids in wheelchairs. What the fuck, dude? That is horrible and
Why?
so funny.
Why?
that is-
I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, there's
I'm trying to process.
There's no explanation. There's like, you have to do the amount of gymnastics we'd have to do
Yeah.
to try and explain that.
Yeah.
Here's my only
It's
read
like the
on a right.
shittiest thing to say.
It's a shitty thing
the
to say.
It's
It
the
is.
worst thing to say.
So here's all I can make. I mean, I think a lot of this stuff, trying to make sense of it, is just a fool's errand. But the closest I can come to it is him saying, I'm such a big deal that 3 people wanted me to do Make-A-Wish this week, and I'm such an extra big deal that I wouldn't even do it. I mean,
So
I guess.
in this Twitter rant, there were like a couple themes. One was
Calling them themes.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're not wrong. But
and
it's
one of the themes
we're talking about it the same way we're talking about the halftime show.
one of the themes, if I remember correctly, was more so about, you know, he can say whatever you want and he can't be canceled.
Right.
And like I'm going to say whatever I want. Y'all can't control me.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that type of thing.
Right.
And so a lot of the things where he was saying, it seemed like he was at least trying to make a point about like certain people being in control and, you know, using black artists as pawns, and then he referenced Kendrick
Right.
and that. So it seemed like even as deranged as all of it was, there was some things he was saying that where he was trying to make a point. I feel
Some valid.
that was
maybe
just
points.
completely out.
And
That
that's-
was nothing.
And a lot of
These poor kids are like,
and a lot
what
of
the
what? Just like, my bad. I like your music. I apologize. Also, I'm dying. Like,
That
what do
was
you,
so crazy.
so crazy.
But that was also one that's the whole tweet.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of them had like multiple
Exactly.
parts, but that one's just.
And
that.
honestly, that's why that's my favorite one, because that is the least.
That's your favorite.
That's the
Careful
least.
with the word favorite.
That is the least damaging out of all of them.
That's wild. You're kind of right.
Yeah.
Good
Like, to be
grief.
honest, that if you took it away from the whole Twitter rant, that just feels like
That's
early
just like-
Twitter
that-
Kanye.
That is.
Wow.
That just
is
sounds like
Early- that's early.
That just sounds like
Kanye.
something he would have said in
Dude,
2012.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
Oh my
That is
God.
so true. I hadn't even thought about that. In the context of it is okay. It is monstrous.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But in the context of this, it seems more monstrous than it would have. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Because it would just seem like I'm just repeating what you said at this point, but that's so
Well, what's
funny.
good? Let's go to another one. I want to see where they go. They devolve. You said right?
All right, I'm gonna read these all
Devolve
word
is
for
a-
word.
Yeah. How do you devolve from that?
Yeah.
actually?
Oh
That's a
yeah,
great
that
point.
one is at least a coherent thought. Coherent's a generous word, I guess, but
But yeah, Kanye said so much. Okay.
Did that go
I'm
to
gonna
it?
pull up the first one.
So he
Oh, yeah.
said,
"Oh my god,
free Puff.
Oh no!
Which-
Again, already
start.
a problem. Yeah. Okay.
Who's ever after Puff, we gotta find out exactly who they are. Okay, cool.
It's literally
Play off the
Department of
grid.
Homeland Security."
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you mean our legal system for crimes he committed?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Listen,
Obviously, multiple,
I'm willing to
like-
believe plenty of conspiracy theories about the government going after people, particularly going after black people. That one,
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
that's just because
that one
Diddy just did terrible
Yeah.
shit. I think that's,
Let me see.
how about this one?
Okay.
Let me start by saying I'm yelling because they're
all caps.
in caps.
Yeah.
All caps, yeah.
I don't even feel comfortable. I am quoting.
Yes, he is quoting Kanye West.
Let me start by saying, okay, loosening it up. I have hit women before.
Oh my god!
Now-
oh my what? That
Now-
was it, right out.
No. There's
there's more.
That's the
But-
first 2 lines.
Wow.
I just want to say,
What the f-
name a more like insane introduction.
Let
Yeah.
me start.
Let me start by saying I've hit.
I don't know if
women.
I've ever seen someone preface their statement
Like-
in such a wild manner.
It's like saying he's saying that as if like that is the thing that will cushion the rest of it.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Let me
Yeah.
offer an olive branch first.
yeah.
Like,
It was so-
What is he doing? That's
then he
all right.
says-
That's horrific. What?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
could possibly come?
Okay, well
next?
then what he says next. I'm starting to get some kind of maybe connection.
Aneurysm?
To that kind
Oh,
of making
sorry.
well that too.
But
And then this is also the same tweet as what I just started saying. Drake said Kendrick hit his girl, but that is not recorded on tape like the Puff video. I am in LA right now at the Four Seasons.
What? He just ends where he's spending his weekend.
No,
That's
it's more.
just in the middle. I'm in LA right now at the Four. That's actually the funniest one, I think, just in the context. I am risking my life to tweet this, so walk with me.
What?
Drake says Kendrick hit his queen. The world. Oh, there's more. Crap.
Yep,
This is
that's
screen-
just a
this is
screenshot.
grab. All right. Well, there's more, and it has pictures of Diddy and
Kendrick.
Kendrick sort of looking in the same angle, kinda.
He is trying so desperately to be this. That I'm going back to that. He's trying so hard to attach himself to these things. Weirdly, Diddy, but also Kendrick.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
right. That's what I'm seeing.
It's like he's saying.
I want in the beef. It's like what? You know,
Kinda.
where's the beef?
Yeah.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye's the beef he wants to get into. It's a long. That was a strategy, conspiracy theory, but
I mean, no, I don't think that's a stretch.
That's not a stretch at all because he hopped on like the thing that kicked all of this off was that song Like That.
Yeah.
And Kanye got on the remix of that song.
I had forgotten or didn't know
And
that.
you should have forgotten it because it was terrible. But it's true. Like, yes, he absolutely wants to be involved. That's
Yeah.
not a stretch.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
if that's anyone being on the remix of that song, that's a statement.
He hopped on the song to diss Drake. And now look at this. Like, he just wants attention.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
However you can get
Wow.
it.
Now, here's the thing, though. I think I see where Kanye's going with that. Because Kendrick has made the same point by having Kodak Black on his last album of like,
Yeah,
we're not too dissimilar.
Which I'm still uncomfortable with.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
So I do see where he's going.
Now I have hit women.
That
Also, other things.
In a way,
that's all
in
I'm
a
hearing.
way-
That's
okay, in
fucking
a
horrific.
way, I think maybe he was saying big time maybe. All right, this is a huge maybe.
Put me in your
But
next
it's-
song?
No, he's saying like I'll admit I've done it too. But is that what he was trying to do?
man.
Not that helps in any way, but like, you know what I mean? Was that?
Yeah, I
it like
still don't
was
know.
an olive branch in like a weird way.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really know what that introduction was trying to accomplish because I'm trying to think. Even with the point he was making, I don't know why you would have to insert what you did.
Yeah,
to
I
be-
know,
like I
know.
don't get it.
It's
Man.
like he was. It's like he was trying to get out ahead of criticism, as if everything he was saying
Yeah.
wasn't a nightmare.
Yeah. Which also, side note, our concerns about his wife Bianca from last week.
Yeah.
A little more credible
pretty,
now.
Pretty big.
A little more credible
I think
now.
even then I felt pretty confident
Well,
about
we
it.
we,
but,
we
like,
definitely, we didn't want to like
outright
make great
say that.
assumptions or whatever. And yeah, her family came out. There was a whole bunch of
Yeah,
stuff
it's
there.
not. It's not
I
looking
actually
good.
didn't even know about that.
Yeah, her
That
family
affair.
came out. Were like, there's red flags for a long time.
Yeah,
This just
yeah,
solidified
yeah.
everything they thought. They're really worried about her. So,
Now,
and
Jason,
again,
if-
every bit of this laughing is we're laughing at the
The
audacity,
absurdity of it.
Yeah,
The audacity. Yeah. And Jason, if you want to just read this word for word for us.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I said Jason.
Yeah, no, I know you did, but I just wanted to screen it. Yeah, we don't
Obviously.
have to. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can make this
You,
clean.
you don't. Yeah, do whatever you want. Like,
Any okay.
come on, you can. Well, your call.
Any person come in my face and ask me about that puff stuff, I'm stealing off. Then immediately, I don't care if you 8 feet tall, I'm gonna jump and steal off. You know, okay. I'm. This is too much.
It's
Oh, you're
a
not
lot.
gonna say all
No,
of that
I'm
down
not.
at the bottom.
There's
You
a
don't-
lot
you don't
of slurs,
A lot. of
and by that
slurs.
I mean take your pick. Racial, sexual, mental capacity.
Well, what did he
ones.
do with that? Oh,
right there
yeah,
at the bottom.
R word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was hitting all of
F
them.
word, R word.
Jeez. Oh.
We're all over it.
Yeah. Violence.
All and like an anti-Kamala thing.
Yeah. Kamala.
All you, all you Kamala dick riding F words.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Wow. He's all right. So let's pull this back. Let's pull it back 30,000 feet.
Yes.
So he's not well.
No,
Yeah.
he's not.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
There's-
I mean, again, like all this
Can't be,
laughing,
right?
it's laughing because it's insane. No, dude is, I mean, long documented unwell.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we've talked about it a little bit. Like, I guess I got that a little bit, but also this feels like this was all over a couple days, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like this wasn't like over a 2-month period. This is like a couple days. This
Yeah.
guy's going off. He's trying to do something, or is influenced and is mentally for you know what I mean.
Well,
That's
so
what I'm trying
that's
to
the
say.
thing. He always goes on these. I don't want to say always, but I feel like these manic episodes are always tied to something, and they used to be tied to his album releases. Because I think it's, and listen, I don't know. I'm kind of speculating here because I've never took medication for it or whatever. But I've kind of heard some people say that they don't want to take their medication because
dude.
they feel like it affect their creative process.
I'm.
Oh, wow.
So hence why the album is about to come out, is he working on the album? That's when you would see like these Twitter rants in the past.
That's an interesting observation. I didn't know that.
That is absolutely thing. I have a lot of bipolar in my family. I have like strong like depression, anxiety, and my therapist lately has actually been like, I think you're probably bipolar, like that. But she
Really?
can't diagnose because she's a therapist, so I would have to. Anyway, but
Yeah.
whatever. So like, I'm in that world with other people, and I'm kind of in it too. I think probably.
Sure.
And there is a thing like when you don't take your meds, because I take meds. When you don't take your meds, there is this like intensity that happens that can be really exciting. And that's essentially mania. Like that's what the reason that it's like not super clear with me is I don't get that. I don't get like delusional mania where I'm like saying I'm like the king of earth and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I do get like, it'll feel like ideas in my head that are like, this is an incredible idea. And I know well enough that I'm like, all right, chill, dude. But like, yeah. And I have done like some of my best writing and stuff when I've been in that state. Like it's a thing.
Do y'all want Donda or no?
Yeah. I mean,
This is what I'm saying. Like, I understand nothing. He is very wrong about what he's saying. This is terrible.
however,
This is why.
You
I
say
will-
he's breaking some eggs to get to
I
some
will.
genius.
I will.
All right.
I will add though that I don't think it's necessarily that he couldn't create that level art while being well.
Okay.
It's that, but it is that like it's an excitement and it's a shortcut almost in a way, and you in this just insane burst of colorful feelings. Like
Yeah.
it helps. Here's what I'm saying. I think the specific art that he has made, unfortunately, probably a lot of it is fueled by mania. But I also think that if he was well, he would still create. He could still create masterful music. It would just be different.
Yeah.
How about this? Can I? And I'm gonna make this dorky. How many people like Van Gogh and all these other people who were artists and painters and whatever it was for all of history, they were all maybe had a little bit of darkness and
I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't want to overstate it because I also want to be careful about. I want to be really clear that I don't buy this bullshit that like you have to be unwell and tortured to be a great artist.
I agree,
Fuck
100%.
that.
Yes,
Fuck that.
fuck that is exactly
However,
right.
lots of people with
Yeah.
tortured mental illness and stuff have that is a gateway into weird headspaces that can come out in great art. It's just
Sure.
it's just true.
Sometimes just being different is also
Yeah.
artistic. Let's be honest.
Right,
Yeah, sure.
right.
And so I follow.
I think it's undeniable that there is some crossover there. There is some like correlation, right? And it can't. But I don't believe that you have to have that to make great art. That I reject.
Way
that
on
notion.
board.
I agree.
yeah.
And not only do I agree, I think we've actually have seen that with Kanye, because I would venture to say the music he made pre his mom passing away was probably, I think that's what really caused like the mental breakdown
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Kanye.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the College Dropout and Late Registration and those albums.
He was wild, but he wasn't like
he wasn't that.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Yeah, like there was he was a bit of an oddity. Is that
Yeah.
a terrible word to use?
I don't think so.
I feel like Jamie Foxx kind of, I don't know if he used that word, but I remember there was like, yeah, he's an odd guy.
Curiosity.
Yeah, and then insert riches, and that's gonna send you over the edge, even if you got it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Riches.
Yeah.
Just using that.
Was that an old man term? Did I
yeah.
bring some old man shit
That
to
wasn't
this?
an old man term. That was like a biblical term. And riches comes unto thee.
Well, look at Antonio Brown, right? Like Antonio Brown with the Steelers, man. That the minute that guy made money, he got the big contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just the progress of his demise was trackable.
Wasn't a lot of that though. What that big hit he took, that
I've said that
pretty
from
much
the beginning.
undoubtedly
But then
caused
that
CTE.
plus
Bur-
money
perfect.
as well.
Oh yeah, no, adding money on that for sure.
Yeah.
Did you see the? Okay.
Just to finish off that y'all are gonna laugh at me, and that's fine. But to finish off that mental health point, a case in point of someone of not having to be totally unwell to create great art. We've been talking about him all night. I think Kendrick is one of the most grounded. And I
Sure.
think he has his demons. I know he definitely has his demons.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he's one of, I think, the most responsible with his mental health artists out right
As
now.
far as
Okay.
we can
'Cause,
tell,
yeah, as far
I
as
would
we can
say.
tell, for sure.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
takes years off
taking
between
time off,
albums.
yeah.
He puts his phone away for months at a time. Like he's
Well, that sounds crazy, but okay.
yeah, he goes and he's like very serious about therapy and stuff. Like it's come
Yeah.
out in his music. So like he's actually a big time counterexample. I think,
bit of
even
a-
though
bit
he
of a
has his
model
demons,
for it.
he
Yeah,
has his
yeah, yeah.
demons, and he had tough upbringing and all that stuff. But like, anyway, yeah,
Let's go.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Jason, you might want to like pull the time up so we can just kind of keep track.
Oh yeah.
But there is a larger point
Yeah.
to this whole Twitter rant, because this Twitter rant caused Kanye's Twitter account to become deactivated.
Yeah,
Hard to ignore that.
Hard to ignore.
And man, it's hard to come to Kanye's defense after everything that's been said.
I don't think we have to come to his defense specifically for
Okay.
the point we're making.
But
I think we're making.
Thank
That
you
I
for
think
saving me
we're
there.
making. Yeah.
I think
Unless you want this to be, I might get in trouble.
I literally
segment.
saw Jordan attaching it to the Kanye's train, kind
Yeah,
of like,
man,
hitching your wagon. I was like,
Especially
"Ugh."
because you're such a big fan. Too.
No, I am.
I am. I mean, I am
And
too. Not to your level, but
I've been waiting for this.
And let me be clear, I will listen to Bully still. Okay, I'm sorry, but I find it very interesting that Elon's whole freedom of speech, and we want this and that.
Comedy is legal again.
Comedy is
Whatever.
legal again until the black man
Yep.
has to say what he thinks, and now there is a line.
Yeah.
Now there is a too far.
because much equally as bad and worse shit, way worse shit, is getting said all over Twitter.
Yeah.
All over the Twitter.
Porn is on Twitter.
Porn is
now.
on
Porn
Twitter.
is on Twitter.
Like,
Just like
And man,
and-
if you would have seen Kanye's like porn likes, dude, I can pull them up.
wait,
Before-
is that a thing? That
yes,
a lot of it was
because you
about
can see
porn.
when people like have like tweets and stuff. You can scroll. It's public. Like a lot of
That's
people don't necessarily understand that.
crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, he has a ton of like stuff. Well, he did before he got deactivated.
Yeah,
That's on Reddit. We can see it.
I don't think, and especially like there's so much circumstantial evidence too to support that his got deactivated pretty much because he's black. The whole anti-DEI thing is in the air,
Yeah.
which is not just anti-DEI. It is just it's racist. It's regular ass
it's
race. We all know
absolutely
that,
racist.
right?
Yeah.
DEI.
Yeah.
This whole anti-DEI is coded language just for anti-black or
Yeah.
anti not straight white cis blah blah blah. You know,
Yeah.
like
That's I mean that as here's the thing. Kanye's in the club. He's a billionaire.
right, right.
He's a billionaire. They always take care of their own. We've seen a number of circumstances where that's the case. They get away with anything that they want. He's a black man, and he's saying this shit that you are correct that I've heard everybody else say at some point or another. I've seen the most
And
horrendous
he was saying
shit.
like pro MAGA stuff too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's like that's one of the most damning things that I've seen is him losing his account because like what do we
Yeah.
just
It's not subtle.
it's so black and white.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's-
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Even
Damn.
if you in the bins. We don't have to finish the line. But, you know.
I don't know if I could.
No, yeah, no. No. But if you know, you know. Just, yeah.
I just think I'm trying to think of any other reasonable explanation. I
It's
just
very
don't think there is
interesting. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean Kanye seems like he's buds with Trump or was.
something. Yeah, actually he very much was at a certain, or he was at least friends with Joel Osteen.
Well, yeah, so both of those are true. And then, yeah, the story is like him and Trump were cool, and then he rubbed Trump the wrong way when he wanted Trump to like run with him.
All right, that's awesome. So Kanye was like, "Will you open for me?" And Trump was like, "Open
it's like
for
I'm
you."
a headliner,
I'm a
motherfucker.
headliner.
Speaking of
Oh,
headliners,
that's so great.
Oh yeah.
should we talk about?
of
Did we
headliners.
want to talk about Kanye more? We can if we
feel-
or about
I feel satisfied.
Okay.
Jordan.
You couldn't see my
No,
face.
I was raised. I'm actually mad that he messed up your transition. That was actually a really good line.
We can circle back around it. But speaking of headliners, our friend Nate Bargatze
Yeah.
has some interesting something going on.
Yeah, I mean, I can jump because I actually have it up here.
So what we're talking about is a comedy cruise,
Yes.
comedy
I have-
festival on a ship that's
With
happening a
Nate
year from
Bargatze
now.
presents Nate Land at Sea.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there are total, including Nate and his magic
Dad.
by his dad, Stephen Bargatze, plus live music and more to be announced.
Okay. Well, that's
Just for what it's
something to
worth.
think about.
I believe the total number that I read was there's 22 people on the show as we
22.
as we know
22
right
people
now.
who
Yep.
don't have their Twitter accounts deactivated.
That is true.
Very, very specifically. Here's the thing. I'm not
let's-
gonna put any names out there, but I didn't pay attention. I saw it
We
come
haven't
out.
outright stated the thing though.
I know.
Just in case.
I'm getting there.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
getting there.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
getting there. So I'm not saying any names, but they put this promo out on Instagram or whatever, and these are I like Nate and whatever, and I
of
saw
good
my
comics
friend essentially said, "Hey, congrats for everybody who got on the White Guy Comedy Tour," and I was just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
wait,
you sent
what?"
It to me.
I kind of was like, "Wait, what?" And essentially, what I learned is that this Nate Land at Sea thing. There's 22 comedians on there,
22.
and they're all white guys,
All white, all men.
all white, all men.
That is.
And again, I
Wild.
think I may have strolled by this a couple times and never just sort of looked at it or processed it or whatever. And this comic saw it and was like, "Oh, hey, here's an observation I just made." So
Yeah.
then that became I was sort of communicate with them a little bit, talk to you about it, and a lot of people are commenting now
There's
on the promotion of this. The big question is like, I like a lot of these guys. I like
Same.
most of the guys.
And
on
we
this.
know some of them, and
they're all
good
great
dudes,
great
yeah.
guys. But how do you book a comedy cruise and put 22 white guys on it? There's no women on there. There's no people of color. There's I don't know if
I'm not sure
if any
about
of these
the
people are
sexuality or
they're
anything like that,
they're
but-
sexual or
but
gender
that's enough.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's enough. And from what we do know about these people, at least from what they present outwardly, it doesn't seem like to be
The ones that I know,
The ones that I know.
of, are either straight or straight presenting. Like you said.
Yeah. And listen, and I have some I've talked to you guys. I'm some reservation. Like I'm certainly not here to point fingers, but
Right.
it's in black and white where
Yeah,
it's just like,
it's
man,
right
you guys,
there.
there's no, a lot of people who chimed in are female comics saying, I don't get sick at sea.
Yeah.
Which is a
Yeah.
great line
That
from
was
someone
great.
that we all
Yeah, who's
love and
pretty
respect.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So it to me, this was something that we discussed, and it was like, it's hard not to bring this up.
Yeah.
Especially in the context, man.
in
especially
the
in this
current
context,
climate, again, we're talking about DEI,
Yeah.
and I'm so curious to understand that it's one of those things where it's either did no one just see it and think about it and be like, who's on the show, and then there's that doesn't feel good if that was the case.
There's a sort of layer of possibilities.
Yeah.
To this. One is whoever was in charge. I don't want to assume it was all Nate, but obviously,
Fair.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, the one thing that I don't think it is, could be, but I don't think it is this was the plan. We want 22 white guys. They need to all be white. They need to all be men. That'd be a pretty big accusation.
It'd be a big accusation.
Yeah. And I don't think that's.
And
the
I don't
case
think
either.
that's it either.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it either.
It just seems
I'm
knowing.
just trying to lay out all
I get
the possibilities.
it, but I
though.
want to like the
So-
thought process of all the people I know on here. That seems wild. That would be a wild.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like
Bizarre
especially
thing.
a lot of especially if everyone else was on. But so that seems highly unlikely. So that's like worst case scenario,
Right.
But no other scenario is good either. So there's. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm whatever.
Yeah,
I might get in
let's-
trouble for saying this.
Yeah, we're all
but,
all doing it. I
But
mean,
like, then there's like it was choosing people and just didn't really notice, which already is kind of like, ooh, how did that happen? And then someone pointed it out, and they were like, whatever, don't care.
yeah, that's like
That's
two.
not great.
That's like 2 and 2B.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's not great.
they
Then
didn't.
there's-
They didn't pick up on it.
They didn't pick up on it.
Or somebody said, "Hey, you might wanna,"
And you were just like, no,
and
or
then you chose
whatever.
not to. Like,
And then the other one is didn't notice they were doing it. I'm not going to, didn't notice they were doing it and then kind of realized they were and were like, whatever.
yeah,
Not great. They didn't realize they did it. Other people noticed and felt scared to say anything. That's not great.
yeah.
And those are all the scenarios that I can think of off the top of my head, at least. And none of those are good.
Yeah, I think to kind of go in line with what you were saying, whenever situations like this happen, my mind always goes to, I'm not really mad at the like thing itself. I'm more bothered by how we got here. Because to what you mentioned, it's not so much that there aren't like any like diverse picks on this group. It's the fact that this came out and there wasn't even anybody in the room
Yeah.
to point that out,
Yeah.
which says more about the
Yeah.
people you're surrounded by.
Right.
Like, because we all have blind spots.
Yeah, if all of them are
fair.
that blinded to it,
So
wow.
it makes me think, okay,
Yeah.
what do those people look like? Who do you spend time with that doesn't look like you?
Yeah.
Do you spend
Yeah.
time with anybody that doesn't look like you?
And one person, again, we don't say their name, but one person said, a woman who commented on the post said, I thought my set on Nate Lamb was pretty good.
yeah.
So,
yeah,
like, it's not.
so it'd be hard because of the brand that Nate has created. It's hard to believe that that there wasn't accessible comedians of all different kinds.
So-
like it's just not believable.
Yeah, no, it's not, this is who we could get.
Oh yeah, it's all we knew.
This is,
you know?
hi, I'm the biggest comedian on the planet.
kinda.
This is who, I mean, he kind of is,
Yeah.
right? It's certainly top
Pretty
5.
big. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's definitely up there.
And this is who I could get, like that can't. So I'll say this, because I do know of a lot of these people and personally know a handful of them. I don't go to that first worst case scenario possibility that this
Yeah.
was an intentional statement.
yeah.
If I had never heard of any of these people, if I saw this with no, especially if I'm not a comedy fan necessarily, if I just see this and that's all I know, I don't know any of those names, I know this is a comedy thing, I know that dude's famous, I know that, I think I would read it as a statement. If I didn't know anything about these people, I think I would see it and I would be like, that they're doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
They're not saying it, but they're doing it on purpose. That's what I would think if I
Yeah,
didn't know
if
who
they
they
did
were.
it 10
I would think that confidently.
If I saw
didn't
this
know.
10 years ago, I wouldn't process it much, maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because things are 20 years ago, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But today, right now,
Yes.
in the light of all the things that are happening around the country,
Really hard not to read it that way.
And again, with one of the biggest comedians in the world, who certainly has a team.
He's got a team, man.
Yeah.
Where's the marketing person?
He's
to
got
say-
teams on, he's got teams on teams on teams, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the marketing?
Yeah.
Is this maybe they have Don Draper as their as their marketing team? Maybe it's the actual Mad Men.
yeah.
Because here's the thing where I feel like it has to be somewhere within the realm of what we mentioned other.
Yeah.
Because the other possibility that we didn't talk about is outrage marketing.
Oh my god.
And that is a thing.
Here we
and
go
especially
again.
with the thing at the bottom of more to be announced. It could be a play, but I will say I don't think so because that doesn't seem like him.
Nate is literally the anti-outrage.
That
I know.
does not
of,
seem
of
like him.
every
know.
comedian currently and maybe ever.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
is in the running for the most prioritizing of being non-offensive, non-controversial as anyone I've ever
Right.
to a point that it's almost like, dude, be
Yeah.
have some. Be a little controversial, you know.
Well,
How about-
that's
hey,
not his brand.
by the
That's
way,
not- and I don't have a problem with that. but
and I get it too. This was a 4-day, February 5th to 9th, 2026.
it's 4 days.
4
and it's
days.
a year from now, so it's not like they had to scrabble it together. Or like,
Well, how many shows can happen in
Wobble it up.
4 days? 5 days? Like, how many comics can perform on one thing?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something we're missing.
Oh, so
I don't know.
you're saying even
Who else is going to go on the show? What room is there?
Oh, right,
for
right, right.
someone
people.
else
Oh,
to
yeah.
perform?
Okay.
It must be like a music festival style thing where you kind of got to choose. Where it's like, oh, today what's
that
happening
would
at the
make
same
yeah,
time?
'cause the
Multiple
posters kinda-
shows.
Yeah, I guess like, oh, I wanted to see,
Because there's
whoever,
3
but-
podcasts going on. Nate Land, The Consumers, Don't Make Me Come Back Here. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a little hard. It's just,
Yeah, I guess
it's a little hard not to bring up.
At very, 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 very least, it's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but we can't. You
How about
can't
this?
just reduce it. To
I will
that,
say
though, because
this.
of everything we said.
Well,
like,
I saw this. I communicated with another comic friend, and then brought it up to some other people, and then we started reading the posts,
Reading
and I was like,
comments.
I'm not crazy. Like, I'm not crazy that this
Right.
was my initial reaction. And then the post did exactly the same
yeah,
thing.
said all the same stuff.
Yeah.
and then of course they had people jumping in,
Yeah.
defending it, just like the bros that they are.
Yeah.
one dude
What
said,
was the one? it's so unfortunately funny.
They
Okay.
laughed. I didn't laugh. They laughed.
That is false.
there was one dude that said, some of you girls need to get your own boat.
That's terrible.
That's so unacceptable.
just-
That's very unacceptable.
It's not me laughing. That's
It's
somebody
about
else.
the same. It's the same kind of funny as the
Make-A-Wish
joke.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this is objectively not cool,
yeah.
but there's something about the way you did
Is
those
there?
words.
Yeah.
Something
the
about it.
syntax. You really got the
Yeah,
syntax.
because sometimes things are just funny because of the audacity.
the audacity, and the specific word order.
It's,
Yeah.
the
like-
the Ricky Gervais definition in one of his last specials. I thought it was amazing. He's like, we're all laughing at this because we all know this is crazy.
right. I think
That's
it was-
why.
I think one of the funniest things. Some of y'all.
Yeah.
Like, which ones?
Some, yeah.
How are we? Yeah. Anyway, we should probably run past
we
that.
can get past it because again, I mean, we are friends with and know a lot of these people.
Yeah,
and pointing the finger. And it's here's the other thing, man. Let's just all assume that these are all good people, and it was a misstep, and they're going to add more people to it, and hopefully that it all is just water under the bridge. We'll give them hopefully the benefit
Water
of the
under
doubt,
the boat?
the water under the boat. But
Yeah.
there you go.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. I think I need to go
Oh, okay.
No.
to pick up my child.
She's sitting outside in the
Sitting
rain.
outside.
No. It's 9:00.
All right.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Let me see.
You guys
wait,
want to call it?
Hold on. I would love to play a game. I wish we had time. Matthew, I'm just gonna see.
Well, as he's verifying, do you got any games
I
that
don't
we might
even
be
know
able
if
to play?
to be honest, I don't know if I do. Guys, hang on. Let me look.
I have 8 minutes to work with.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we got time for
Okay.
one game.
God damn it, you guys are putting.
Well, while Jason's
Just put me
scrolling,
on blast.
Reddit, would you rather?
well, yeah. While he's doing that, Jonathan, you got any upcoming shows?
I do actually.
Okay,
which
talk
is
to me about it.
wild.
It is, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, you being booked. is
Caught me off
I'm
insane.
guard.
actually doing comedy.
Okay.
This this will be past. I'm doing I guess hosting, maybe featuring, probably hosting at the Comedy Zone on Wednesday, but that is past if you're listening to this on
Hey,
Thursday.
well, who were you working with?
I definitely know for sure. Moving on.
You're good at this, Jonathan.
This Friday,
Yes.
Valentine's Day.
That's
I'm
right.
doing the Don't Tell shows
Hey.
somewhere in Charlotte. So look that up if you want to do a creative date.
Okay. Yeah.
Valentine's
outside the
Don't
norm?
Tell
Yeah.
shows. That's what I got.
Okay. All right. I also got something on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I am be performing at Pilot Brewing. It's going to be me.
Not Pilot, the
What,
gas station.
Pilot
No,
the
not
gas
the Pilot
station.
gas station.
I don't
not
know.
for the lot.
No, we're going to do it for the lot lizards one time though. We're going to do it for the lot lizards.
All
But
right.
nah.
Pilot Brewing.
Wait, I still think I'm supposed to say it. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I got a show at Pilot Brewing. I'm closing it out. It's me. I think one of your students is like actually hosting
great.
the show.
Alex King or
No,
Lori Henry?
Lori.
Yeah,
Lori's
I love
hosting
Lori.
the show. There's a couple other people on the show. I'm sorry. I'll be closing that one out. And then a couple days before that, I'm actually featuring for Mark Brady at Hendersonville.
Oh, nice.
There
at
it
the
is.
Sky Lorana Resort that Jason
right.
L. King is going to be hosting.
That's right.
right.
February
Yeah.
12th. That's
Two
that's
shows there,
my-
February 12th.
That's my gig. That's,
That's
very
a
exciting.
that's a zoning out special.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah, very excited.
Very special since you won't be there.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
it's a zoning out special that
Yeah,
does
yeah.
not include me.
Every
Yeah.
2 out of 3 on this. So that's every Wednesday at the Skylorana Resort and Spa. It's in Hendersonville. So this month, February 12th, 19th, 26th, you will have a 2 shows, 6 and 8:45. Yeah, it's a weekly show.
You got work to do booking that.
Yeah.
Weekly.
I've been working on it a lot
Yeah, I know.
for a while. Jonathan, you'll be on it eventually.
Man, it's really
At
great
some
that
point.
that
Probably
you-
November.
It's really
if I had to
great that you
guess.
came to me to actually, do
I can't
that.
wait for you to
appreciate
perform
that.
in front of that
I
crowd.
appreciate that you prioritized me so much.
You know,
that I'll
'cause-
be
'cause
in 2027.
Jason had the forethought to know that the people in that audience will look at your performance the same way they were watching Kendrick Lamar's
Yeah.
performance. It's just like, I
I've
don't think
always
it's-
said that I'm the
Just
Kendrick
miss
Lamar
it.
of comedy.
No.
I say no. I have always said.
Oh,
I say
gotcha.
it all the time. Every time I get on stage, I'm like, just so you know.
That feels like a very Kanye West statement, actually.
yeah, yeah.
It's all time.
By the way,
together.
I'm also going to say we did get confirmed
Jason's
we're
the
doing
Kanye West of
new. No, I'm not. The new material night, February 25th, Tuesday, February 25th.
Hey.
Yes.
Everybody on this podcast will be on it, and another.
Let's also
great
just
round
say
of
the
comics.
last one, the most recent
Fantastic.
one, was phenomenal.
Like it was
It
kind of
was
crazy.
so fun.
Yeah, I loved every minute of it. It was amazing.
I'm just shout out to Mike Bird.
yeah,
Mike is amazing.
Good
Mike crushed
lord,
it.
dude!
Yeah.
He came
Yeah.
in there and freaking just tore it down.
Yeah, Mike is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
He's great. 14th, I'm in Catawba. I don't have a venue, so sorry about that. He's
Yo,
supposed
just
send
come
it
to the
me.
Don't Tell show. Don't worry about those other two guys.
The other one, I'm doing a Valentine's Day show, but it's sold out. I mean, they sold every inch of that space out. So I got. I'm trying to think where the next place. when
Too
I'm-
bad,
Yeah.
ladies.
I am. However, I am in Harrisburg at the Comedy Zone in Harrisburg the 21st and 22nd of this month, February 21, 22. So
Nice.
I'm there with totally dropped his name. He's one of my favorites too. And I
6 minutes.
God damn it. All right.
4 minutes.
Here we go.
Sorry.
Which I'm gonna skip. Which perk would you rather have in real life? I almost haven't read this, so
That's
Okay.
whatever.
That's
That's
from Reddit.
more fun that way, kind of.
All right, so this is like male or alpha female, right? Which perk would you rather have in real life? You have double your normal stamina. Okay.
Just stamina. Just
Sure.
stamina.
Whatever your
Okay.
current stamina is, double
Okay.
it. Others attracted to your gender are much easier to charm, convince, seduce. Oh, man, this is feeling not like the right
This
one.
isn't feeling great.
And see you as their ideal
I mean, that's
mate,
100% my
regardless of
choice,
your looks.
but-
Okay. Exceptional sexual and courting prowess, knowing how to properly court someone.
This is properly court someone. What are we doing?
Everyone sees leadership within you and will eagerly obey and
Who
follow
cares?
you. Easy to
Obey. This is. I don't like this at
Me
all.
Well,
Well,
neither.
Jason skipped over to like the second line that says alpha male / female.
that was a lot. That
yeah, I
was a
like how
lot.
you were like, let's avoid that one. Then you're like, you can get anyone to fuck you. whether they like you or not.
I'm moving on. I'm. You guys caught me off guard, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
You guys ever want to just show up with shit to talk about?
No.
All right.
No.
What?
Sorry, Jordan.
No,
I
I
thought
don't-
we had a few
Oh,
times.
actually,
we
you're
talked
right.
about
you
it.
guys-
Yeah, what the
yeah.
fuck? No, I've never been more prepared.
Yeah, this actually, yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Jordan's
Thank you,
reaction to
Jordan.
that
Thank
was
you, Jordan, because I was like accepting.
he was
it.
like, "What the fuck?"
I was just taking that
It's like,
lying down. Well done. Thank you, Jordan.
That was actually part of the last
Taking the lying down. Yeah. I'm glad, I didn't know whether one of y'all were gonna pick
There
on
you
that
go.
or not.
Would you rather? I'm not. Haven't even read this. I'm just.
All right, let's
looking
go.
at
Let's
it.
Hurry.
go.
Would you rather be on death row for a crime you didn't commit, and the most important person in your life is free, but they committed the crime? Ooh.
Wow.
That's a
I
good one.
like that.
That's
All
a
right.
good one. Or be free, but the most important person in your life is on death row for a crime you committed.
Go, Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan, this seems like
you gotta get going.
kind of
I
your
mean,
wheelhouse.
Listen, Nora has had a long, full life. And that guy crossed me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to stab him, and
There you
and-
go.
And Nora's had a good life, so she can be. This is a wild question.
Yeah.
Although I think kind of you're a monster if you say the second one, right?
Dude, I'm not going to jail for anybody.
All right.
Even if I did it. I'm not
I'm
going to death
kinda-
row.
Okay.
I'm
not going to
kind
jail
of
for
with
anybody.
you. I mean, I'm a youngest brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go to jail for me. I don't go
Yeah.
to jail for them. I will say, I'm going to twist
I
this
can't.
a little
It's
bit.
it's my kid. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah,
that
of
one.
course.
That's kind of game. That's
Well,
kinda
let me ask this. Death row, are you kind of like in solitary confinement or am I
No,
still
it's
going?
Death Row Records. We're talking about.
Death
which-
row, yeah. You're a
which
little
also
bit
is pretty
yeah.
That's the
dangerous.
thing. My biggest concern would be having to like deal with the other inmates. If I'm able to like be by myself, then all right,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
take the
yeah.
time. But other than that, I'm not doing time for anybody. I'm not
Yeah,
going.
that
I'm
just-
not going to gin pop for
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
Gin
I
pop.
get it.
Nobody.
No,
Cell block. Better not ever go to Cell Block 1.
No, no.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of asked this before. It's a little bit on this topic. It's like you bury a body for somebody, you risk it.
For Nora, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, you've said that before.
I'm
Like,
not
you
saying
bury a
that's
body.
right, but I would do it.
All right, I'm gonna scale it back. You gonna go beat somebody up real bad with your buddy because
For-
for someone who really really deserves
Wrong.
it.
Will
Are we
I
taking,
get away
are we
with it?
taking,
You-
Are we taking progeny out of the equation? Because the
Sure.
answer is pretty much always yes. If it has
Yeah,
to do with
yeah,
Nora,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I follow.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is with my brothers. I
Yeah.
mean, kind of yes, but yeah, you're at risk at getting caught. I mean, that takes
And you're going with someone else to.
I mean, I think
You're
have
not
done
trying.
this.
You're not trying to.
If
You're not
I'm
trying
honest.
to kill him, but you're trying to beat him
Yeah.
up real bad.
Sure.
To the point that maybe you might accidentally kill that level of beat
Yeah,
up.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm spitballing.
I
here.
would s-
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spitballing. Yes, we're gonna beat him
I
up
think
real
so.
bad, real bad. To the point that I mean,
It makes
kinda-
it harder,
It's
but
kind of
yeah.
It's sort of irrelevant whether or not they can
I'm not-
maybe die or not.
I'm
This is-
certainly
we're
not
beat
gonna-
the shit out of them.
Yeah, like you're gonna beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna
the
be
potential
bad.
for
They
them
could
to
go to the
be
hospital.
hurt. Yeah. They're probably going to the hospital.
Yeah, they're probably going. Okay, it's that level.
Yeah.
But we could also lose the fight. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do it with you. You could be the buddy we bring.
No.
That's pretty funny.
You wanted to fight those frat guys so bad.
There it is.
I'm scrappy. Okay, I'm scrappy.
You could run 9
I
miles
could
all
run.
over
I could
them.
run 9 miles all over
Yeah.
them. That if you could treadmill someone for 9 miles, they would be dead.
Yeah.
I don't. The practicalities are difficult, but
Yeah.
all right.
Well,
I think I'm doing it. Because I know, like, I could be totally
I gotta
honest.
go.
Like, yeah.
all right, man.
Yep,
I
finish
think
it
I'd
out.
do it for my brothers because I think they 1,000% would do it for me.
Yeah.
There's just no way you say no to me. That's how I'm at.
I would really have to know what the circumstances are.
Yeah.
It would have to be something like really harsh for me because other than that, it's just like I really don't desire to inflict physical harm on
Yeah,
anybody.
I know.
But so it would have to be something very like severe.
I was at
For us to
a
get there.
I was with two of the 4 of my brothers, right? 2 of 3 brothers. Myself, 2 brothers, 1 wasn't there. And we came across this situation.
Bye, guys.
See you, buddy.
So yeah.
Drive safe. Jesus.
Are you serious?
My God. Anyway,
Nora's gonna be outside that Planet Fitness
she's just gonna be
for
sitting
so
there,
long.
cold and wet, and
Yeah.
just
With a
wondering
pizza.
where her dad's at.
Yeah.
There's just one night where two of my brothers almost were getting into, and I kind of hustled up and was like, all right, what's happening?
Yeah.
Not that I'm not a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy, but I'm not going anywhere.
Oh wait, no, see
Be
that's
a
a
part
different
of it.
situation.
I'm
If
back
your
'em
brothers
up.
are getting into something in the moment,
Yeah.
oh well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
together. Yeah,
Right.
that's a completely
Yeah.
different thing. We're trying, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna sneak up to someone's house.
That
wait for them to get
that's
home.
a different
Ugh,
level.
That doesn't feel right.
We're talking premeditated. It's like, hold on.
It's a little different. All right, you want to split? You want to hit it?
Yeah. I guess we can call it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Zoning Out. Make sure you follow the Instagram Zoning Out Pod.
That's right.
The Gmail. Please email us. You can call us. I think it's podcastzoningout@gmail.com.
Yep.
And number is 980-221-9293. Again, I've been Jordan Century at Jordan Century. Jason Allen King at
right.
King Jason Allen.
That's right.
Mr. Williams Comedy is in the bathroom, still neglecting his daughter. And we will be back next week. Thank you.